This is Rebel Radio Ministry right there doing a Doors song. The Doors right there, Roadhouse Blues on Rebel Radio. In front of that, we had Mastodon doing a song called March of the Fire Ants, and Mastodon here on Rebel Radio. This is Rebel Radio, AM 1300, WRDZ, AM stereo with the stereo receiver in your car, your home, your boombox, whatever you got. We also have rebelradio.com. And my good friend Daniel Graves from Aesthetic Perfection calling in right now from the WC Social Club in West Chicago, playing tonight. Daniel, thank you so much for calling in on this very last second interview. Thanks for calling in. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
My pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be back in Chicago. I guess technically West Chicago, but
yes,
hey, either way, I'm excited.
Oh, I could get there in 25 minutes. So Chicago is not that far from West Chicago. So if you're in Chicago, do not miss the show tonight. I saw you at the Liars Club. The place was packed on a Friday night in September and blew me away. And then 2 days later, you played the Byline Bank Aragon Ballroom. The venue holds 4,500 people. You played with Till Lindemann from Rammstein. And Leanne Murray and I, my girlfriend, we were saying that was the best show of the year you and Till put on. What an amazing show that was. How was that tour?
Oh, man. The tour was fantastic. It was, a real honor for me not only to be touring with Till again. He's been generous enough to let us support him.
That's cool.
4 times in total now. We actually supported him on his arena stadium tour in Europe in 2025, so last winter. But that was the first time ever doing it here at home. And so, that makes it kind of like extra special, like getting to play these fantastic venues like the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago, or, for me, like being an LA native, the Forum in Los Angeles. It was just like this opportunity to play in these places that you only dream about when you're a kid,
Oh, totally. And I've lived in Chicago my whole life and been going to the Aragon Ballroom forever. And I saw a TV show. I was just flipping through the channel one day, and there's the thing. They had Al Capone, famous mobster, from Chicago. He would be at the Aragon Ballroom, and the Chicago police would come there looking for him to arrest him or whatever. And then he would take a tunnel underneath the Aragon Ballroom and go to the Green Mill right across the street. It's a jazz bar, so to this day still there. And that's pretty wild information that you played a place where Al Capone would hang out and do his business, and then go underneath the city of Chicago, a secret tunnel going across the street to the bar Green Mill, and then the cops you evaded the cops. Isn't that pretty crazy?
That is absolutely crazy. I mean, had I known this piece of lore or history, when I was there, I would have asked the venue manager if the tunnel was still open and if I could use it to go across the street just to check it out.
That'd have been cool, right? I think it is still available. My friends work there, so I'm going to ask them. My friend Luis Vitek, he plays guitar in Ministry. Now he's in MOD. He's in, my girlfriend Leanne plays drums in a band called Beer Nuts. He's in that band too. I'm going to ask him, is that tunnel still available, and can we see it? And can we go through it? That'd be awesome, right?
That would be so cool.
Daniel, since we talked a year and a half ago, you just keep putting out music. Right, bam, new song here, new song there. We played a new song about an hour and a half ago, brand new song, and now we're gonna play another newer song. How do you just keep putting out new songs all the time? That's awesome. Bands take 7 years sometimes to put out the next release. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I would consider myself lucky in the fact that I'm never running out of ideas. Like
that's good.
When I go to bed at night, like there's just a million ideas floating through my head, and so I'm making voice memos on my phone or typing little notes, if I'm like on tour and unable to get to a studio. I think my hard drives are filled with, I'm not even exaggerating here, probably thousands of unfinished ideas. So really my biggest struggle is finding the time to finish all of these ideas that I have. And once I do sit down and kind of put my nose to the grindstone, I'm able to work relatively fast. So obviously I understand why bands like Tool can take sometimes
Metallica
decades. But it's just kind of the way I work. I'm fairly fast these days.
So you're saying you don't get no, like I know some band, I play drums too, and some bands you get like, you're putting things out, you put a bunch of, your first album's usually, no problem. But the second, third, fourth, fifth, they get a writer's block sometimes. You don't get a writer's block, do you?
I don't even know the meaning of writer's block.
That's awesome. Because
it's not even a flex. I'm not even trying to brag. It's just, I think that having done this so many years and being lucky enough to be somebody who constantly has, ideas floating around in their head. Like, I think that probably one of the biggest causes of writer's block is that artists, they kind of start overthinking things. And many years ago, I kind of learned to stop overthinking things, because the way that it turns out is that, like, the music that you create that people end up loving the most is usually the stuff that you like the least, and the stuff that you like the most is the stuff that the public likes the least. So you have no control over any of it. So if you just let go and enjoy the process, you make your life so much easier.
When I saw you at the Liars Club, I was up all night long. You had catchy hooks, great songs. Man, what a great show that was. That place was packed too. And you didn't go on till what, 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning that night. You remember that?
I don't think I'll ever forget that, because they double booked the night. And
that's what it was.
The first event just ran over by like 2 hours. So we spent the majority of our evening like actually hanging out in the alleyway behind.
I remember that, yeah.
Just kind of waiting for somebody to give us the green light to like come in and load in. And I think that was probably the fastest setup and sound check that I've done in my 25 plus year career, because we just wanted to make sure that we got up there as quickly as possible and we're able to deliver for the fans who had been waiting there. Like, many of them, they've been there since 6 or 7 p.m. just kind of waiting to see us. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't make them wait any longer than they needed to.
And Daniel, but the crazy thing is, they double booked and you played later, but it was packed. I mean, I think it was a sold out show.
Yeah, it was.
That was awesome. Packed house, and I saw everybody in that room like singing along, getting into it, and that was a major response for that show. And then I see it 2 days later at the Aragon Ballroom with Till Lindemann, another great show. So you go from a little club like Liars Club, great venue, one of my favorite places, but then you go play the Aragon Ballroom. That was amazing to see in the weekend. I've been doing this my whole life here in Chicago. I've been DJing for 37 years on April 1st, which is not April Fool's, but I've never seen that before, Daniel. I've never seen a band play a club and then play another, and then play the next 2 days later, played a huge club, because usually they don't allow it. I mean, they would say, oh, you can't play with a 30-mile radius or, whatever, right? But there was no radius that day, was there?
No. We got lucky. There was no radius clause, and I think, in these situations where you're a support band for, an arguably massive artist like Till Lindemann, I think the promoters are mostly concerned about like what the headliner is doing, and so you as the support, you kind of have the freedom to book your own little side gigs, and that's what we did on that tour. And I think we did like 8 or 9 of them, and they were all really like small, intimate places, because we wanted to make sure that the dedicated fans that we have in each of these cities, like, that they were able to get the best show possible. And I think like the best shows are the ones where everybody's shoulder to shoulder, it's sweaty, everybody's screaming and jumping and having a good time, and that is absolutely what that Liars Club gig was.
Big time.
Was delivering, yeah.
And then, like I said, it was so crowded. It was crowded and a great show and a great sound. So thank you for putting on that great show. And that was a treat for the fans, because here you are playing Aragon, and you're going to do a special show like that, showcase. That was cool.
It's always a pleasure, and I love I love being able to switch it up like that. I think that when you get too used to the big stages, you don't know how to interact with people on the small ones. So I'm glad that I'm in this place where like I have the opportunity to play these massive shows in front of thousands and thousands of people, but that I still kind of know how to interact with 200.
Daniel, I'm going to show a picture on Facebook Live here of you performing. You put on a show, not just, you don't just stand there and sing like Roy Orbison, stand there and sing and play a show. You put on a show, you changed outfits, you do a whole bunch of cool stuff. How can you describe your show to someone who's never seen you yet before?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think the way that I would sort of describe an Aesthetic Perfection show is both intense and unrelenting, but also very dynamic. Because I've been doing this for longer than I haven't been doing it. So I just turned 43. I started this band when I was 20. When I was 17. So that's 25 years of this band, and just think of all the changes that you've gone through as a person, in the last 25 years. I mean, that's
tons.
kind of what my art reflects. It's just the many different sort of faces of who I've been over the last 25 years of my life. And so it really is just kind of like a roller coaster. But I think the thing that really sort of sets us apart and makes us a band that people really sort of embrace across eras is just the fact that I've always been very honest about who I am and what I want to say with my art. So despite how different it may be, it's always been incredibly honest and authentic.
Awesome. Now it says here on your the Wikipedia that you were formed in Los Angeles and then you moved to Linz, Austria. Is that where you still live?
Yes, that is correct.
How is the difference in music out there in Austria compared to Los Angeles or the United States?
It's obviously a totally different world. I'm born and raised in Southern California. I'm not from LA proper. I'm from the burbs, but the music scene in LA is very, very alive, very, very vibrant. I actually don't even live in Linz. I live in a tiny village outside of Linz with a population of 1,200.
Wow.
So Linz is the city that I go to when I have a date night with my wife or something.
Okay.
So it is of course worlds apart, but I think that because I'm in this place where I'm essentially traveling and doing music for 3/4 of the year anyways, to have this home base where there is peace and quiet and really no music scene to be found, that it's actually kind of what I need at this place in my life.
Very cool. Now, it says here too, you were formally signed with Metropolis Records in the United States and Out of Line Records in Europe until Daniel Graves, decided to run on his independent label, Close to Human Records. That's your own label, huh?
So yeah,
that's cool.
So in 2013, I kind of severed ties with my management and all of my record labels because I felt like we were sort of diverging in our vision of not just the future of the band, but the way that we saw the music industry going. I'm somebody who's always taken the business side of this very, very seriously, because I think that if artists don't understand the business and are able to advocate for themselves, they're just going to get taken advantage of, as we've seen time and time and time again.
Yes.
So, I decided to form my own label, and I self-released my music for well over a decade. But somehow, through a weird sort of turn of events, Till Lindemann, who is a colleague I respect deeply, signed with Out of Line Records, so my former label back in the day, and it led to me having conversations with the label boss again, and somehow I feel like the world sort of started to our opinions on where the music industry was headed somehow are aligned again, and so as of these last two singles, I am back with Out of Line Music.
Oh wow, okay. But you still have your own label too, or no?
Oh yeah, well I still own something like 90% of my music, which I still administer through the
That's cool.
Close to Human Music label.
Awesome.
And I will never ever ever give that up, because holding on, owning your back catalog is one of the most important things an artist can do.
Now I would think that a movie soundtrack or anybody ever came to you and said, "Hey, we want this song for this movie, a part in this movie," or something? That ever happens?
Well, so I had a song on the Underworld Awakening soundtrack.
Okay.
So that was maybe the third or fourth installment of Underworld, and then I also had a song on an Italian Netflix show.
Wow.
called Baby. Never seen it. I did watch my scene where they played my music in a nightclub for, I don't know, 20 or 30 seconds, which was obviously an awesome feeling. Those are really, really cool and obviously profitable opportunities. But as an artist who's relatively small, in the grand scheme of things, these opportunities don't present themselves that often. So
okay.
You take them when you get them. You feel grateful for them, and then you move on.
Yeah, and I had no idea that you were on those two things, so that's just a cool question. But you got so many songs to choose from. How do you make a set list for tonight without missing songs you want to play?
Well, I feel like I'm an artist who believes that like the show is for the audience. The show is not for me.
Okay.
So I try to take the temperature, via like what's streaming the best, what songs are people commenting and requesting on social media, all these types of things. So I take that very seriously, and I try to build a set list that sort of encompasses both the past and the future of Aesthetic Perfection, because, as I said, we've got people from all eras who are coming to see the band, and I want to make sure that like each and every one of them feels like they got what they were looking for when they head home.
This is Rebel Radio. Scott Davidson talking to Daniel Graves. He is the vocalist. It's his keyboard programming, the main man of the band Aesthetic Perfection, playing tonight. All ages show, drink with ID. They got food there. Great venue, WC Social Club in West Chicago. Daniel, I'm already getting texts and stuff asking what time you go on tonight. Do you know the exact time around?
I believe that we are going on around 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
But I would highly recommend
Get early.
Getting here a little bit earlier,
Yes.
around 8, to see our good friends Julie and Kay, which is made up of former members of Orgy.
I remember Orgy.
Play a little bit of Orgy, little crowd pleasing action. I think that they are a fantastic band. And then our good friends Priest from Sweden. It's a killer lineup, a
Wow.
huge package. So I would tell everybody show up at 8. We play at 10, but
Get there early.
show up at 8.
So the first band starts around 8?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Okay, all ages show tonight at WC Social Club, West Chicago. We're going to give away a pair of tickets. So hopefully you paid attention to what Daniel was saying in his interview, because we're going to have a question about what he was talking about. Daniel, we're going to do a double dose. We already got Gods and Guns set up. That song is a Rebel Radio staple here. But you had a brand new song. What song do you want to be the new song that we're going to play first?
Yeah, the brand new single, Sorrow, which is a collaboration with my friend Swarm from Florida. He's a big, EDM industrial producer, fantastic guy. This track is a monster. So, Sorrow is what I choose.
All right, now you own the rights to these songs on Facebook Live. On radio, I can play it, of course. I pay the rights for BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, and all that stuff. But on a Facebook Live, I interviewed Alice Cooper, and as soon as I played Feed by Frankenstein, they took my video down because of copyright. You give us permission to play these songs on the Facebook Live, right? 'Cause you own it.
You have, as I said, as of now, these songs are now, the last two singles, We Bring the Beat and Sorrow, these have been released by our partners Out of Line Music, but I do not see any reason for them to take the song down or take down your video, because it's an indie record label. They're not like a major who's out there trying to shut down every use of their intellectual property.
All right, Mark Zuckerberg, we're talking to you. Don't take this video down. We're trying to promote our good friend Daniel here, and I'm coming to the show tonight. I can't wait to see it. I had a blast at your last two shows. What do you want to say to your fans here in Chicago and around the world before that you get ready for your show tonight?
Well, I just want to say again that I'm so grateful to be back in Chicago and to really have some of the best fans a guy like me could ask for. Chicago has been a city that has shown up for Aesthetic Perfection time and time again, and it's looking like tonight is going to be no different. So I'm just super excited. Going to give 110% like I always do, and can't wait to see y'all.
All right, Daniel, second song of the double dose is Gods and Guns. Gods and Gold. What is that song about?
I think that it's important to, at least part of my artistic philosophy is to allow people to interpret songs whichever way they see fit, because once a song gets out into the world, it doesn't really belong to the creator anymore. It belongs to the world, really. But I would just say that if you read the lyrics, there's not too much to read between the lines. So have a look at the lyrics and decide for yourself what it means.
Awesome. Is that the same for Sorrow that we're going to play first?
It's the same for every single one
song.
of my songs. I want, because so many people, they interpret things differently, and I've had people come up to me and share stories about what a song meant to them and how it was totally different from what had inspired me to write the song, but that doesn't invalidate their experience, and I think that everybody needs to assign their own meaning to every piece of art.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for calling me last second. I just got to hold the owner before you got the sound check. Thank you so much for calling Rebel Radio and supporting us. I will be at your show tonight, I promise. I want you to be the DJ. Have you been a DJ on the radio before?
I actually have not.
Oh, I would have bet money you did. Okay, now you're the DJ. I'm out. You're the DJ. I want you to squeeze Rebel Radio in there somewhere at the end or whatever. And I want you to be the DJ in Rebel Radio and play this new song, your newest single here, Swarm, okay? With Swarm, Sorrow. Take it away.
Hey, everybody, this is Daniel Graves. You are listening to Rebel Radio right now. We're going to play the new single from Aesthetic Perfection and Swarm. It's called Sorrow, right here on Rebel Radio Chicago.
Great job. You're hired. You're our new DJ starting next Monday.
All right, sounds good, man.
I'll see you tonight, buddy.
All right, take care.
Bye, Daniel.
Bye-bye.
Daniel Graves right there, Aesthetic Perfection on Rebel Radio. All right, we're still on Facebook Live. I'm Scott Davidson. Thank you for watching this video interview. And here is the video for this one. Remember, Facebook. Daniel Graves owns this song. He said don't take them down. Both these songs we're going to play right here, right now on Rebel Radio with Scott Davidson. This is Aesthetic Perfection. They're playing tonight at WC Social Club in West Chicago, Illinois. And we're giving away a pair of tickets right now on Facebook Live. And I'm going to give away another pair of tickets on Rebel Radio, AM 1300, WRDZ. Now, where did Daniel grow up and where did he move to? Two-part question. Text me right now, 773-909-0303. You got to text me, 773-909-0303. Where did Daniel Graves grow up and where did he move to? Simple question. Two-part question right there. And here he is, Daniel Graves, Sorrow on Rebel Radio. This is Aesthetic Perfection. I saw him with Till Lindemann from Rammstein at the Byline Bank Aragon Ballroom a couple years ago. What a great show. And I saw him at Liars Club too. And I'm going tonight to WC Social Club. You should too. And you can win tickets right now. Text me, 773-909-0303. Here it is, Aesthetic Perfection. We're doing a double dose of Aesthetic Perfection. And Facebook, don't take this down. This video down. We're just trying to promote the band here, that's all. Thanks for all you watching on Facebook Live. Ren, I see Ren, Bob, Bill, Chris, Warren Halverson from Heaven to Hell. What's up, Warren? I'll see you April 18th at Paulie's Pub. We're playing there 3 hours, Heaven to Hell. Get your voice ready. Darlene, what's up, Darlene? How you doing? Renee, Johnny, watching on Facebook Live. This band right here. Latest single here, the band Aesthetic Perfection. And they got a lot of songs out. Check them out on YouTube. All over the place. They're all over the place. Aesthetic Perfection. This is the first half of a double dose. Right here. Right now on Rebel Radio with Scott Davidson. First half of a double dose of Aesthetic Perfection. Our good friend Daniel Graves, he called in about a year and a half ago for an interview and talked about a whole bunch of cool stuff, including touring with Till Lindemann from Rammstein. That's got to be crazy right there. Brand new song, Sorrow, right here. Remember, Facebook, we got permission from the artist right here. You guys own record label. Do not take this video down. As soon as the video's over, it's going to say, in this country, we can't do copyrights. Come on, Facebook. You're billionaires. Pay for this stuff. Let's get it right. It's Rebel Radio, first half of a double dose right there of the band Aesthetic Perfection, a song that we call Sorrow right there. Now we're going to play a song that they've had for a few years called Gods and Gold. It is Aesthetic Perfection on Rebel Radio, double dose with Scott Davidson.
Gods and gold.
Rebel Radio, double dose of Aesthetic Perfection right there. Gods and Gold. I like his passion for vocals and singing and performing. It reminds me of the drummer who called in the other day, our new friend, Tommy Clufetos, drummer from Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. He called in last Tuesday, and his passion in the interview and his drum playing reminds me of this guy singing. Like they put a lot of passion. They give it 110%. They perform like it's their last time ever performing. Scott Davidson, Rebel Radio. We're looking for lucky number 13 right now to give free tickets for the show tonight with that band right there. Aesthetic Perfection. They're playing at WC Social Club on Roosevelt Road in West Chicago. It's all ages. They got a bar you can drink. They got food, and they got a bunch of killer bands tonight. And I didn't know one of the bands playing tonight used to be in the band Orgy. So get there early and check that out. I'm Scott Davidson. This is Rebel Radio, and we're looking for lucky number 13. Text your full name to me at 773-909-0303. We got to do our legal IDs. Take it away, Kent.
AM 1300 WRDZ, LaGrange, Chicago. Chicago's only metal station.
All right. Now we're going to play a band called Screw. This band is from Texas. They're from Texas, and they're called Screw. And we're going to play a song here called Picasso Trigger. More industrial stuff right here on Rebel Radio. AM 1300 WRDZ. AM stereo. If you got a stereo receiver, your car, your home, your boombox, whatever. We found a guy in Pennsylvania. You send him. You can either buy an AM stereo off him, and he'll send it to you. Or you could send your own radio to him, and he'll put AM stereo on it for you. Rebel Radio, 24/7, 365 for 32 years. Our 32 anniversary is coming July 10th, and we're going to throw a party. Keep it locked in for details as we now play the band Screw, Picasso Trigger on Rebel Radio. Thanks for watching on Facebook. I'm Scott Davidson. Have a great weekend. Great Friday. Now, text me right now, 773-909-0303 for a free pair of tickets to see Aesthetic Perfection tonight at WC Social Club in West Chicago. Later.